Hey, Bree, do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's 4:20, bro.
Oh, I thought it was Vader time.
Well, maybe this was Star Wars, bro. Bruh. Yes, yeah, it is 4:20 today. For those who celebrate it, cool. For those of you who avoid the people celebrate it, awesome. And for those of you who are just trying to hang around them for get a free high, we salute you. All right. How's it going, everybody? It's me, RDV, and I'm here with Eric Brain. We're going to show off some comic books tonight. Zach will be joining us at Zach Standard Time. So 15 minutes from now, probably. Or more. All right. So, yeah, I got some books tonight. I even got one back issue.
That was actually, I gotta give you props for that last night. That was, I like to say that goes on to side one of your greatest hits. That one probably does too.
I was hoping to get you laughing on camera. Yeah. I got a one back issue. Correction. I have many back issues. I have one old comic. Yeah. All right. Obligatory Seth Rogen laugh. Are you laughing in Seth Rogen Donkey Kong or Pineapple Express Seth Rogen? All right. So I don't got that many books tonight.
You've got more than, if you've got one, you've got more than me.
Well, that's one back issue. I actually got 11 books tonight. So further ado, I'm just going to say for those who are just joining us and are new, if you ever need to do that, so please subscribe, click like, and hit the notification bell so you get alerted. So when we go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Pacific, or if you live over in California, that's 6 p.m. Pacific.
Am I safe to assume that a certain wall crawling, web spinning, cake eating, hubcap stealing, skyscraper defacing Spider-Man isn't on the list?
Funny that you bring it up though. Dan Slott showing shade at fans after he blocks them, saying every week there's a guy who just trolls the editor and tells you a shitty editor and hates the book. Spider-Man fans are toxic. I said no. The guy calling Spider-Man fans is toxic. The guy who butchers Spider-Man, and they said at this point, we got a conversation last night. Was it a couple nights ago? I think it was Tuesday night. I was talking to Ash and Skip about this. I said continuity was great back then. Now I don't want anything connected as far as comic books, as far as it going, because I want the next person to say, you know what, do a bend it. Say Zeb Wells, that's great that you fucked up everything. Now we're just gonna change everything, but Marvel won't let them do it though. That'd be awesome. You can imagine if someone just put a career on and be like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, and then they switch it.
Yeah, it's you got the guy writing Amazing Spider-Man saying, oh, this next issue is going to really make a lot of fans mad.
Someone's going to die.
And then you've got that fat fuck over on the other book saying, Spider-Man fans are toxic.
Well, it's been pointed out many times by a few people on Twitter that I follow, and I even noticed too, is that Nick Lowe, who is the editor of Spider-Man, or any other editors are basically doing Spider-Man stuff, no one praises J.M. DeMatteis. His story. He did the basic follow-up to The Last Hunt, or The Longest Hunt, whatever it's called. I think it's called The Last Hunt, right? With the Kraven the Hunter. He did a throwback issue. No, they're not praising Joe Fixit. Nobody is getting praise other than Zeb Wells and Dan Slott. Yeah, so it kind of makes you wonder what the hell is going on with this company.
Just for the record, the only Nick Lowe that matters is the one that did Pure Pop for Now People, British title, Jesus of Cool. You may know him from the guy that did Cruel to Be Kind.
Yes.
The Nick Lowe that's the editor of the Spider-Man books, he sucks. Just as long as we're clear on that. In fact, it's gotten so bad that your boy is
How bad has it gotten?
Your boy is coming out of retirement. I'm making a video with Wes tomorrow.
You know what? If it's all about clone of Spider-Man? Sure, because this is pretty much. Dear God, I thought they would have just pulled the trigger and just made Spider-Man gay. Instead, I got a feeling they're saying like, oh, there's people are speculating, oh, Mary Jane's gonna die because someone's gonna die. It's gonna devastate you. It's gonna be Peter Parker. Man,
At this point, does it matter? Because he died years ago. Peter Parker died the day he was wearing the "Ask Me About My Feminist Agenda" shirt.
Well, for me, he died.
And he was crashed on Mockingbird's couch.
For me, he died. Civil War. I just want them to have like the next run do the Bob Newhart ending. He wakes up, looks over to Mary Jane, and says, "Holy shit, that was terrifying."
Or he could be in the shower like Bobby Ewing.
Yeah.
It's that. But yeah, I said I know that's not one of the 11, so
yeah, like I said.
No, yeah, Jazz. I mean, I was joking about that a couple times. Yeah, I said Wes is really busy. I'm not in his rotation because I don't read enough new comics.
Yes,
to be a part of it. But I saw the Spider-Man shit today. I DM'd him and said,
yeah. For anybody who's not familiar with what they did, the atrocious stuff they did to my boy, or I guess the shell what's left of my boy, the husk, because he's been dead. Yeah, he's dead for a while. They decided to basically it's a flashback to when Mary Jane period, and she's like, Peter goes to hug her, and if he saves her, killing a guy, he kills the god, basically, or the god's apprentice, and goes to kiss Mary Jane. She pulls away. Peter, it's been a long time, and then turns over and it's like MJ, the kids, it's like and she's like, and he wait, who are they? She's like, they're my kids, my family, what the hell? It is just like at this point, Peter should be like, "You're a Skrull," kills her, because I don't see what I don't like. I said, if they want to kill Peter Parker, they have my blessing. I'd rather just watch Miles' show. At least they can't do my boy any harm anymore. It's the numbers show that even the books before this with Spencer were doing way better. This is you go if you go look at League Comic Geeks, even look at that, and you should see the ratio how many people like it compared to people who just hated it.
Well, I know Amazing Spider-Man is the top selling comic today, but those numbers are embarrassing compared to even 5 years ago.
My question: who puts out the numbers? Guys, I've seen, was it Comic-Con? I'm like, where did they get the numbers listed? Is this like, because I want to see exactly what Marvel is listing as the numbers.
Well, but the problem is, I said, Marvel didn't have a book ship 80,000 copies in December. So if Spider-Man's number one at what, 70,000 something, that's atrocious.
Wasn't Spencer's run like at least like 50 something?
No, those books did better than that, but
he did better.
So were Batman books. I mean, the number of people that are buying comics shrinks, or at least it's spread out so much farther that there's nothing coming out that anybody cares enough about to buy en masse. And it's the fact that the number one book is 5 figures and not well into 6 is embarrassing. And you can talk to me all day long about how great comics are going, but I would just say, okay, just go make another character gay.
Yeah,
because it's working so well.
Justin,
and taking taking your flagship character and making him absolutely unlikable, and watching his ex-wife, should be his current wife, with her husband and kids in another.
Well, remember, they were never married. It was erased from history.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. Same as the daughter. Both daughters. When Sony puts out Miles Morales movie with Spider-Man from Earth 616, having a daughter now and being married to Mary Jane. Hell, even in the not the cartoon, but the PS4, which now he was married to Mary Jane. He had actually no, they weren't married. They were dating again, and then the second one they're gonna have still as a couple. Like it's just Marvel is just ignorant, or not really ignorant, is more as they're arrogant. These are people who never liked Peter Parker being with just Mary Jane. They're like, oh, he's got to be a slut. They want to be a man whore. They wanted to be Tony Stark. What Tony Stark was is basically having a free range of girls he could go with. They're like, Peter has all these women in his life, but why is he always stuck with Mary Jane? Because natural progress of the story made it that awesome. The death of Gwen, being and having Mary Jane turn him down twice. Finally, she realizes, like, she grows up and realizes, like, oh my gosh, I actually love him, and it just the natural progression. It made sense.
Actually, I think it's more of along the lines of
good
it's kind of like the Peter Pan effect.
Yeah,
what was that the boy that wouldn't grow up?
Yeah.
It's a combination of that.
She's matured him. Yeah,
and the fact that they don't have the sole movie rights to him, they would like nothing better than to. They've spent the last generation tearing him down and trying to prop up Miles Morales because they have the rights to him.
So
and it's the same logic that had them devalue the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in the comics because they didn't have the movie rights. It's petty, it's small-minded,
sure,
and like I said, they're done. They're beyond done at this point.
Yeah. Quickly say hello to everybody here. Morani, hello to you, who was first. Hello to Jay Lucian, Undead Quinn. Hello to Justin, Jackson Roykirk. Great seeing you again. Undead Quinn. Hello again. Jay Lucian, Justin, Jay Lucian. Hey, it's Mark McGrath. Then we have, I think that's Madam K is here too, and Tehillim. Good to see you. I agree with it, Justin. If you antagonize fans, you're going to get that back in kind. So Dan Slott he's arrogant. He's just thinks I can basically tell you what to do or piss you off, but you're not allowed to say anything back. It's like, no, that's not how it works, you diva. And he's just pissed off because I bet you his books are not selling as well. And people are, he said, he said Spider-Man fans are the most toxic fandom when they don't get their way.
Really? How would he know? We haven't gotten our way in so long. We don't remember what that's like.
The last time we got our way was Joe Fixit, Peter David writing.
I said, well, for one thing, Spider-Man fans aren't getting their way because that fat fuck is still writing one of them.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes. I'm using our allotment early tonight.
As long as you find the period. All right, but I don't want to turn this into basically anti-Spider-Man because I do love Spider-Man, but the best thing that these writers, these shitty writers, ever done for me is basically push me to another company where I was able to read an awesome, book. I never read The Flash, and I said I became one of the biggest fans of The Flash. I've been going back, and I've actually been going back and dipping into the Silver Age a little bit with Warren Barry because I grew up with Wally West, 90s watching cartoons with Justice League and have Wally on there because Barry was dead. So, and I read the Mark Waid run with the twins, and then Josh Williamson bringing back that awesome, just like the stories, and then Jeremy Adams just being like, basically, it's like the way Flash was being written was basically like the 90s, like when they had like the writer's room, the next guy taking over. You know what? It's like when, dare I say it, when Gail Simone took after Chuck Dixon on Birds of Prey, continued it, and it made it, and just making it awesome, better and better, more. And I said, like, it's just when people were actually held accountable for their actions at the actual companies, they had to play ball. They had to produce. Nobody was special.
I'm not a huge fan of everybody having powers, but it really has. The book has a sense of fun that is sorely lacking in.
They just basically DC did with Wally West, giving a family, doing the family values is basically what I had with Peter Parker. Finally, and then Peter David wrote. Actually, was it Peter David or was it Tom DeFalco wrote Spider-Girl?
Tom DeFalco.
Yeah. Like I said, I like that. I didn't like Peter not missing a leg. That was kind of weird. But I mean, I like the fact that Ben Reilly was around, and it was
It made sense in a universe where he was not going to be Spider-Man anymore, and it's a legitimate reason for why he had to give it up. Because let's be honest, if you are driven to be a hero, nothing's going to stop you. I mean, you can say you're not going to for your wife or for your family, but then the first time you're needed, you're right back out there.
Yeah.
But if you are literally, and even that didn't stop him. He did become Spider-Man several times during that run.
I wish I had an option to do a poll here, because my question is, who's worse, Amber Heard or Dan Slott? One of them's in your bed, the other one in your bed.
One of them would crush it if they sat on it.
One of them becomes the bed.
I said, what is your number 11, sir?
My number 11. Actually, we're gonna go with it's a book that I've been reading, and it's been liking it. It's 72 pages. It's a little bit grim, and it's got some tales of terror. Yeah. Basically what Creepshow wanted to be. That's what it feels like. 72 pages. It's all connecting stories involving you have the Grim the Grim Reaper, wherever she's supposed to be, and she tells stories, and she's going around, and each story she's in part of the story looking for these paintings that affect people. The first guy sees this painting of a house on fire, and he's just kind of drawn. Why does he seem familiar? Actually, no, it wasn't on fire. It was his number ranch. So he's kind of like drawn to it. And then he's driving, he remembers, it was just basically vengeance on people who did things wrong. First guy was an alcoholic, when he was younger, he did a hit and run. So instead, he panicked. He basically dragged the guy into the barn, then lit it on fire, and killed him. So he gets revenge on him. Another woman who goes around and she abducts children. She ends up getting killed by a painting. Like, it's just like basically morally, I guess, endings as far as so basically, if you're gonna be evil's gonna come after you and just. There was even the last one was funny though, because it was a Harvey Weinstein guy going around abusing actresses, and he gets drawn to this painting, and then everybody's like, it's a blank painting, but he sees this girl. Finally, he meets this girl at the bar. She meets him for dinner, and then goes back to his place, and then he gets pulled into the painting. And all the girls basically either committed suicide because of him, or just taken out of possession, just basically just tore him limb to limb slowly down. Like I said, it's just gruesome endings for people who deserved it. So, not a bad book. Not my normal cup of tea, but this is the art on the inside. And hello to Zach. Or I guess he was not here. He was here. He must be muted.
I'm here. I was on mute. Sorry.
All right.
Ran to the kitchen real quick to get a Dr. Pepper.
Zach, never apologize for being on mute.
Right out the gate, he's hitting with the joke.
I say that to Engelton all the time. This is my number 10. Pick it up. He tried to get a shot. Ron Mars, Ron Lamb. People are like, I don't really care for these guys. They're kind of mid, or whatever. Adam Warlock story. It's supposed to take place. I guess. Does it say here? Here. I don't know if it really says in the back or not, but it's All right. So basically, is this right out? I guess when they had was it Infinity Watch? Was it the team?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's right around there, basically, and I don't really want to spoil it, but I gotta say, I dig this book a little bit. Not the biggest Ron Mars fan, which I think Ron Mars did he do Sojourn over at CrossGen?
I know he did something for him.
Yeah, and then like I said, overall, it's a throwback story. It's a number 1. Yeah, I guess you would call it, but I think it's gonna be 1 of 5 or 1 of 6. But overall, I actually like the story, and yeah, it's basically Janice Vale He was told by Adam Warlock, basically, like he said, like if you want to know more about your dad, go to Earth. So he goes to Earth, and he ends up running into Gamora, and basically, I think his name's Tip.
Pip the troll.
Pip. And it was only like that. Yeah, overall, like I said, they go and find Adam, and something happens at the end. They see a cocoon. They don't
I
know.
bet you Gamora doesn't look like this.
No. Actually, you want to see Gamora?
I bet you there's no moon dragon looking like this.
Well, you're right about that.
To the dismay of comic lesbians everywhere.
Who needs comic lesbians? So this is the art. I mean, it's Ron Lim. If you don't know Ron Lim's art, this is kind of like
It's not that bad. I don't hate it.
Ron Lim is like the FedEx or whoever it was. So when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight, if you can't make your deadline, he was always the guy they would call because apparently he could draw faster than Jack Kirby.
Oh wow!
Now he's also, probably late 50s, early 60s by now.
Yeah. Overall, like I said, we're introduced. No surprise. If you saw the variant cover, there is a new Eve Warlock. Someone created another Warlock, but it's called Eve. And she's supposed to be better than because Adam betrayed his base original instructions. So she's there basically to steal the Infinity Gem from him.
Now, I don't know if either one of you, Zach, have you read many issues of the original series?
I have.
Well,
I have the first 3, but I have not read them.
Yeah, actually, I take it back. It was Silver Surfer. That's what it was. It was a callback to Silver Surfer and talked to Genis Fell and told him to go talk to Adam Warlock, who's on Earth.
The original series had the same kind of feel of the Blah Justice League, which I'm sure this new version does not. But
it's not as great. It's just like, but there is some laughs, but it's also kind of serious too.
There's an issue, and I've talked about it before.
Yeah,
I think it's issue 12 where the Peter David, Pantheon era Hulk fights Drax, who at the time had like the Hulk's intelligence from the Hulk Smash era, and it's one of the funniest books I've ever read in my life. And I can't recommend it high enough.
All right.
Cool.
Number 9. Last Barbarians. This is the Brian Hamberlin cover.
You had 11 books this week?
Yep, 11 books. Plus a back issue. Yeah, well, several back issues, plus one on comic. Yeah, I know. I can't use that joke anymore. It's still. You heard it here first. Right?
You heard it here last. Hopefully.
Zach, I see you're dressing in black tonight.
This is navy blue, sir.
Oh, so you don't like wearing black, so you wear blue.
I can't win. If I wear black, I'm racist. If I wear navy blue, I'm racist.
So this is the art you're getting for this is Brian Hamberlin and then Hannah Wall doing the words, but art by Brian Hamberlin. This is the art you're kind of getting in this book. It's kind of indie, I guess I'd say. Not the best, but So basically to learn more about what's going on as far as there's this basically her the main girl, the redhead, and her older brother basically were they basically needed coin. They were basically kicked out of their place where they're staying because she's blacklisted from the guild. She takes this job with this old man who's basically been conning her the whole entire time, not telling what the whole quest is. And they come across this is a boy who basically has like godlike powers, and and there's 2 older chicks, basically you see in the very beginning, right here, the ones that are laughing. Here, basically, we don't know who they are. All they know is that they want the boy. And there's 2 other guys who basically were sent, basically sent after her, the kid as well.
It's the War Boys from Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, I bet that's what it looks like.
Does one of them say, "What a lovely day"?
It's Wayne and Wax. That's their names.
Wax.
Yeah. Overall, I said I've enjoyed this book. It's not my normal cup of tea, but it's got like a creepy little like kid to float around with eye and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd love this if this was more like like an actual game I could play. It's weird reading an RPG as a comic. But these are the covers on the back they show you.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep. All right. Number 8. Not really going to go into detail this, but this takes place after The Expanse, so it's a huge spoiler if you have not watched the series. Here's some of the art in the interior. They even get the you recognize the woman from Renfield, the mother.
I have not seen Renfield
Renfield.
nor The Expanse.
So basically, she was on Expanse for us, and you get a lot of the characters basically drawing. So the great thing about this, I love because The Expanse is what basically I guess is rated as one of the best new space shows.
I hear a lot of people talking about it. Yeah.
And so when I read this, I read everything in all their voices because that's how much I watched the show and I loved it. So it's continuing in good faith in the show as well. Yeah, like I said, it could be a 12 issue story, but yeah. But check it out if you have seen the series, worth picking it up. This is through Boom Studios. It is $5, $4.99. All right, number 7. Purgatory Must Die. I think Undead Quinn's been reading this too as well because
I think so. I think he's been bringing it up. Yeah.
This has been a fun kind of comedy sketch thing. Dynamite. It's very Dynamite with a little bit of chaos, in it, because it does have the chaos characters. Unfortunately, though, they're the shell of the chaos characters as far as they were created. Chastity, isn't really that well good looking in here. They're doing that freaking reboot here. You can see it in her hair. It's shaved and it's like, oh, I don't like that.
The side shave thing.
Yeah, I think that's the Gail Simone reboot.
Yeah.
Or right after that. You got Jared Galina here, who is considerably older than she's in the Christopher Freeze book. So that's always a plus.
That's a win for you. Yeah.
This is, I believe, Ray Fox writing this. And Alvaro Cerseca doing the art. So, yeah, like I said, I've been enjoying this series more than some of the other actually better than a lot of the actual Vampirella stuff. But some more art too. And it's basically Purgatory was being hunted by all these basically heroes or anti-heroes creatures because they're promised by the Egyptian gods if they basically kill Chastity, they'll give them whatever they grant their one wish. And so basically in this issue, Purgatory, who's a demon, basically she's like a vampire / demon, feeds on innocent blood and all stuff. She ends up feeding on a creature that's in the Garden of Eden. That's where she was hiding from all of them, and ends up getting like celestial powers. So, I forgot to mention that this is Expanse is written by Andrew Diggle. Andy Diggle. First book I ever read by him. I know he's done some Green Arrow, right?
I believe so, yes. Because I remember making a joke that the character from the show was writing the comic. Yeah.
My number 6. And I agree, Undead Quinn. It does need better art, but it's okay though. It's not like Riley Rossmo. It's not like some of the other Dynamite art books I've seen. But, my number 6 is a series that sadly our buddy Aaron Spiro will probably I'm liking this. I know I have to go read his run still. I haven't got around to it though, but I just been loving this. This is through what's her name? Amanda Diebert with Carlo Loro doing the art and the color. And basically, what you'd expect from any basically Darkwing Duck books, art is just phenomenal. It's literally like they just copied the cells.
Yeah, it does. It does look like that. Yeah.
Like, look at that. Like, so if you're a fan of the show, you'll probably like this. If you never watched the show, it's probably not be your cup of tea. Eric is probably like, I don't think you're way too old to read or actually watch the show back in the early 90s.
No, I'm just trying to figure out who is that platypus wearing glasses over there.
Where did Zach go?
Dun, 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 dun.
There you are.
It's
I was scared.
Harry the platypus.
All right, down to the top 5.
Top 5. You need like a graphic or something for like like when they do like the countdowns on the radio.
4, 3,
Yeah.
2. I will try to next time, sir.
I'm gonna start this next week if my work allows me to. I'm gonna start digging into what I need in order to get a Twitch channel up and going.
Yeah, so my number 5 is the final book of this series. Thank God. I just don't need any more. I think we ended it. Deceased. Not a bad book, but wasn't a fan of the way it ended. Basically, last issue, Alfred, who's now the Spectre, cures everybody of the life equation, virus. They're all back to normal. We see Supergirl finally recognizes her cousin, introduced by her parents are alive too. And she meets John Kent, who's not gay in this. They didn't even mention his sexuality. I gotta give Tom Taylor at least credit for that.
That's true.
Yeah. The Black Racer shows up. That was Zach's least favorite part. And basically, there's a way to stop the I guess Erebus. Yeah, is the celestial god who basically created the anti-life equation, and wants to just plunge the whole world into cold darkness. And they're going to use Brainiac, who's merged with the basically Cyborg, use him to defeat that. And then it says Darkseid says Darkseid will face Erebus, and of course Guy Gardner being the class. I gotta say, I got him props for this too for Guy Gardner. Gardner says, "Well, here's hoping Erebus' main weakness is arrogant assholes who talk in the third person." And now this is kind of dumb though, because he gets almost killed by Omega Beams. He should be dead, but they're yellow Omega Beams, I guess, because he's got the.
Well, then shouldn't it be especially fatal to him since their weakness is yellow?
Honestly, yeah, and Clark and John separate. Like Darkseid, he's like, and we get a weird guy. He says, "Oh no, this one's on me." Poking fun at Darkseid was a level of stupid that even I'm not self-aware enough to recognize. And yep, we get to see Cassie and Damian, who are basically item. I always thought that Cassie was older than him, isn't she?
She's a lot
Cassie
older
is
than
way
him.
older than him.
Yeah.
Cassie had a thing for Tim Drake, not Damian Wayne. Damian was like 9, I think, when he came onto the scene. When Cassie was with
this means that he's into desperate older women. That's all. It's okay. Basically, like I said, I don't know. Maybe Zach can talk about the ending in his run. I don't really want to. I
might have some words.
I might have some. It is a very depressing ending. I'll just say that it's the outcome is just like I feel bad for Alfred, and the whole thing with Darkseid was just a build up to nothing. That really pissed me off because something the actions that Damian does. So Darkseid just is like, but it was my turn. I wanted to do it, and he's just like, yeah. I don't know, but that's my number 5. If you want to see the interior behind this thing here, it's actually this.
It's all right. So it's not my favorite cover. I don't like the ones where they do the symbols. The ones that you've been getting. I'm not a fan of those.
I get them in case there's ever a retail value as far as flipping
That's fair.
versus the normal. Who knows? All right. My number 4. And I gotta say, I'm surprised it actually made this high up on the list. Superman.
I'm surprised it's not higher.
No, because I'm not higher. It's just because it's 420, bro.
I was like, how long are we gonna go before somebody makes a 420 joke?
Well, we already did earlier.
Oh, did I miss it?
Straight up, bro. We were like, it's 420.
Bro.
You must have been baked and didn't hear it.
I think he was more like half baked, bro.
Yes, because I get baked at all my Bible studies.
Dude.
Baked goods. Yeah, bro.
I need a shirt that says that.
So my only complaint is basically how this Jamal draws Clark Kent. I gotta say that's my only complaint. He draws Clark looking freakishly huge compared to everyone else. Like at this point, it's silly. Like no one would notice that this huge mountain of a man guy is actually is Superman.
Maybe he plays it off like he bulked up over time.
You see
I knew people like that.
Well, yeah, Byrne did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it when Byrne did it either. So
Oh yeah,
you
did.
love everything Byrne.
no, I
did.
like Jerry Ordway's version of
Ordway did it too. All of them did it.
Ordway's not that
You're
huge.
just being
They all
picky.
did.
Every
Superman-
artist that worked on Superman that you love did it.
Superman Adventures. He was huge. It was a cartoon, but he was huge.
What, you think Superman was like the All Might from My Hero and shrinks down to be the skinny guy? when he's not saving
Venkman's got
people?
Dan Mora syndrome. Dan Mora gives him a dad bod, and now that's what he thinks Superman should look like. I know. I see.
Why do you hate dads? These are good fathers, they take care of the kids, and now you're saying that you don't like dad bods.
Not on my Superman. No.
Excuse me.
He is super dad.
Look, if it's going to rain men, I want it to matter. Now, okay, is this the first issue at the new $5 price for no extra pages?
This is $4.99, yes, but not the first one. I think the previous was. I think they've all been.
I think it started at $3.99.
I think so. Yeah,
So, yeah.
There's a breaking point. That was mine.
So the other thing is that I noticed too is that the other number titles, not all the main titles are at $4.99. Some are still at $3.99. World's Finest is still at $3.99.
I remember when DC drew the line at $2.99. Does anybody
Flash-
else remember that slogan?
Yep.
Flash is still at $3.99. But all right, number 3 is a book that if you're not getting this, you need to be pulling this. Extreme X-Men by Chris Claremont and Sal Rocca. Wrapping up the story pretty nicely.
Wrapping up the story. So the miniseries is over. So you should be pulling a series that's over.
Well, you should have already been pulling it.
I'll start getting the next issue.
I'll get the trade eventually.
I was gonna say, Zach, when you actually have some money, you should buy the thing stuff.
I
And actually,
probably will.
I would go back and read the Extreme X-Men if you haven't done it. So
I you know what? I'm gonna be cutting down with these miniseries and everything. I do want to get more like omnibuses and collections and stuff. So yeah, with Extreme X-Men, that's probably one I'll look into.
you and your twin should be reviewing that after Hickman. Go to Chris
After
Claremont.
Hickman, maybe we will.
Chris Claremont, Extreme X-Men.
Let's not be bothering Zach's twin right now. We've got a big event starting in 10 minutes.
Fight the beam.
Oh, don't worry, we're not gonna tucker him out before the big game.
He probably
All
can't keep solid food down right now. Nerves, it's been a few years since they've mattered.
Oh,
So-
I am familiar with that feeling.
What about
Look at
it's
that
been a few years since you mattered?
No, with my sports team,
Oh.
the New Orleans Saints. Which
No. There's futility, then there's the Sacramento Kings.
Zach, put your headphones on.
what's that?
Put your headphones on.
Why?
Cause you're causing an echo.
Oh, echo. Wow. Every time I'm on with somebody else, nobody else has this problem.
Well,
Actually, no, you had this problem on Angleteen's channel, on my channel, on Ash's channel.
Nobody else is us.
All right, so we get an awesome moment here with Sage basically coming, basically pulling a Professor Charles Xavier move, basically trying to calm down the crowd, basically appealing to them, and as far as their goodwill, whatever in their hearts, basically using common sense, something that most writers don't use today. And Cliff Claremont shows that it actually can be done in a comic book. Instead of fighting them, yeah, she uses kind of like basically says like, you accuse us mutants basically of being like scary. It says like you guys are afraid of the unknown. It says like you judge us, but what about there was a hero here that she's a firefighter and would put out the fire, and now you're saying that she's because she's mutant, she's bad. So basically, the next time someone's house on fire and she could have been there to actually stop the fire, put the fire out, she's not there. Just like you said, what's next? Your children, when they get the mutant gene, are you gonna shun them too? What happened? What happened to you? What happens if you have the mutant, X gene? Like, so it's basically just calling out is there, the hypocrisy. Like I said, and then it wraps up with a nice, hearty get together. They're just in Chicago. Obviously, this is the better part of Chicago because they're having beer and hanging out and just
Kitty and Rachel are about to kiss.
That's what I was. If this would have been any other person's book, they would have been like they would have been a couple. But they're not.
Wasn't that what Chris Claremont originally wanted to do? Didn't he originally have Rachel as gay? I think.
Well, he said that at a time when everybody was virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And when Marvel let him write he did a Magneto story that was just so out of character for anything else he'd ever written. And I don't know if he was just trying to. He went through a period where he was trying to fit in which he has since come off of because remember he got canceled last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
And his response to that was "F you."
That's why, frankly, I'm surprised.
Look at my line at the show.
I'm surprised that Marvel gave him a miniseries following that.
So the next one I have, the next two books, dear God, it was hard to choose one, being better than the other one because they're just both phenomenal this week. Man. And so, unfortunately, because I'm more inclined of the other one. I'll explain when I get to the other one, but this one is by a writer who's just been kicking ass on the book, and just brought back something that made Tevye just cry. Tevye, if you don't know Tevye, he is a huge Super Sons fan. With that clue, you should know what book I'm talking about because I'm talking about Flash right here, 797. Basically, multiversal field trip is right. Wally, it basically, basically got Ace, Wallace to basically get Flash to babysit his kids. Of course, he was blindsided because of the fact that Maxine Baker was going to spend the night over too, and they thought they're talking about how they're going to go on patrol, eat ice cream, stay up late, and they get sucked through a portal.
With portals.
It is just so we're running into basically those who were reading before the Women War when Barry Allen was missing, I believe. We were brought back into an old friend, the Eternity Mind.
No, it's Knives.
No, but he's holding the Eternity Mind though.
Yeah, but the Eternity Mind is a thing. It's not a person.
It was built by a person.
Well, everything is built by a person.
So because something that was built a long back then, and you have a callback to it, you should never get a callback because
you can have a callback. It's not a person. You said it was a callback to a person.
You know what a portal needs? A portal
exit.
Puncher.
Oh!
You know who a portal puncher is, don't you?
And Ramon Villalobos.
America Chavez.
Ramon Villalobos, who basically drew the issue with we had Kate in America teaming up. I think it was issue 3. I think it was 5. Awesome art, dude, on that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
he was yapping about something on Twitter the other day. about
Removal.
about some creator that did bad things or something. I probably meant maybe voted Republican once or something, but
Well, I know that he got trouble because he was working on Border Towns. Remember that?
I remember Border Towns. I
From
remember
Marvel?
hearing about it. Rather.
Yeah.
He was the artist on that, and then because of that guy, it kind of put a bad mark on him as well too. And yeah, I think he also said something else too later on, and then kind of like he just kind of, but he's been doing some other work. But I do like his art. He did I believe the variant cover for Torrent issue 1.
Maybe.
we're talking about Villalobos.
Yeah,
Isn't he a friend of Skip's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't like him, but
So, of course, we're led here to an Injustice kind of a team, I guess, and yeah. So we get the one thing I was really annoyed by, because I was just not really annoyed. It's kind of curious. I asked Jeremy Adams about it. It's like, has Heatwave Jr., who clearly looks like a female.
Because women can't be juniors now in Vinkman's world.
Well, juniors can be women now.
Yeah, that's what I said. Women can be juniors, or juniors can be women. Wait.
No, men can be misses, and juniors can be women.
Well, you can have a woman carry on a name.
We also get a glimpse of E's Man Thing in this.
We did. That was I looked at that. I was like,
Giant
is that Man Thing from Marvel? That doesn't look right.
Right?
No,
or
it doesn't look right.
Or is it Cthulhu?
Cthulhu.
Whatever. You've heard of it, guys. All right, so yeah, as promised, Super Sons player into from a different Earth, help them out the kids.
Wait a second, good. Put that page back up there.
Yeah.
Look, it's a girl boss book.
Yes, and
see, but that page right there, that 2-page spread is a perfect illustration of how bad the comic book industry is now. On the left, my left, because it's Super Sons, what everybody wants, and nobody gets anymore, other than throwback stories like this, because we all know why.
Yeah.
And then
Lois Lane's Dream Job turned become Nightmare.
Yeah, is that the Lois Lane YA book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That again, I said enough said. That's if you need a better example of how a hobby for boys was given to girls.
You see this? We get John flirting with Ira.
Look at those tomato faces.
So, and that's when he realized that he'd rather be flirting with the brother.
Like I said, this was a fun book. Go all the way through. Yeah. The other thing here too was mentioned too is like, why does Ira have a different costume? Because this takes place before Women at War.
Yes.
Yes, before she got her new costume. Unfortunately, Jeremy Adams said he said there's a lot of stuff I wanted to write in here, but I don't have time to write it because they're kicking me off. Basically.
I'll bet you he's in trouble for having Jonathan flirt with Irie.
Yep.
You saw what they're doing to him in Green Lantern, right?
Green Lantern.
They're having Night Terrors run right through issues like 3 and 4. So basically, they've cut his. They say they did the same thing to Robert Venditti on Hawkman.
Well, Night Terrors is running through all the titles, though.
Yeah,
but some more prominently than others, I think.
So I gotta say this: you're doing a Dawn to See, and then it's like look all these new books, and then fuck them. We're doing Night Terrors. We're just gonna ignore everything.
Right.
Like
I'm with Venkman. I said that's bullshit. Nobody's going to care. Green Lantern will be out of the top 100 within 4 months.
Yes. And then we get Granny Goodness at the end. I just want this to continue with more of them. So it says to be continued. So that's my question. What's going to continue? Are we going to have more Super Sons in the next issue? Or are they going to compare anywhere else? But Yeah, so that's why it's my number 2. I love Super Sons, man, but my number 1 book, if you haven't already guessed it, I can bring you know what it is. You have to.
I said YA Lois Lane, not Asian Lois Lane.
young Agent Lewis.
That's what got England team to pick it up.
You fluff your pillow, Superman. All right. My number 1. World's Finest. This, like I said, I Mark Waid's just killing it out here. And like I said, I love callback to the Justice League animated series. Just call back to General, just basically Batman, Superman, all the classic Silver Age versions of them. Dick Grayson, the best Robin. And he's got pants.
Pants!
I know, right? Pants. Like he's like, you know what this needs? Robin needs to have pants. Because doesn't want to make it too weird. But speaking of being weird, there's one scene here, and I just kept thinking of Ace and Gary every time I look at it.
It was at that moment. Oh, that's not Tim Drake. Never mind. That's Dick Grayson.
If it had been Tim Drake, I would be questioning more.
So, by the way,
he'd be having the time of his life.
I keep seeing the Green Arrow.
Josh Williamson.
There.
Josh Williamson. Yeah.
Who's the girl?
What girl?
Oh, in the back.
Black Canary.
No, in the back. I think that's gonna be.
No, that's Connor. That's
Connor.
No. Yeah, you're right.
Is that Black Canary on the side?
Yeah, that's Black Canary. That's Dinah.
Black Canary right here.
Black Canary. Then there's Roy, and then behind him is Connor.
It's hard to tell because she's like completely covered up, and
she's wearing the jumpsuit that she normally has. She's got the
and also Venkman's fingers were over. I thought it might have been one of the Arrow girls.
No, the Arrow girls. They are bringing back Joshua Williamson. Is bringing back Mia Dearden, who hasn't been seen since pre-Flashpoint days.
So we get to see this. Basically, they're trying to track down Rex to prove that he's help him, and prove that he didn't kill Simon Stagg. We get to see some awesome scenes in here where they're basically just fighting against mechs. And look, girl talk, or girl taking over.
Well, it should be girl talking over everyone else. Am I right, fellas?
And then it gets immediately the next page. Cyborg.
The art looks cool. I like the jacket actually.
Who is Morgan Hampton?
He wrote something. I'll pull it up.
Oh, it's a guy? I thought it was a girl.
Morgan Hampton. No, he's a dude. I think. Nope, pulls up a girl. Never mind.
So,
I might be wrong.
Like I said, this is a huge spoiler if you haven't read this. Breen, are you reading these at all?
No.
Are you planning on going to read them?
Nope.
Okay. Well, if Breen doesn't mind me spoiling them, I don't care about anybody on the chat. All right.
I know Morgan's I'm pretty sure it's a girl. There's no pronouns in the bio, so I can't tell. I really can't. It could be what it could be both. I don't know. God, I hate 2023.
Are you woman? Are you man? I'm your favorite funked up fan.
The villain at the end of this series is basically is turned out to be Ivan, the guy who created Amazo.
Ivo.
Ivo. Whatever.
He's said it both ways.
Yes. And he created a new android, one who basically is based off of Rex, and he can create kryptonite. Plot convenience, right?
I thought that was pretty cool.
So basically, everyone and all the billionaires are been acting kind of weird because they've all been replaced by androids. Even Ollie, because Ollie was basically like Bruce had called him up, and he's like, and Ollie's like, oh yeah. Basically, Ollie is written as a pacifist. That's probably I'm assuming that's all he was back then. You know,
progressive, yeah.
Yeah, basically, nothing to do with weapons. And yeah, Bruce figures it out, but I have news. Yes, I just been loving this book. Every time I read it, I just love it more and more. It's just, man, like it's just that damn good. I love the Flash. I love the fact he brought in Super Sons, but anytime I get Amazo, Dr. Ivo, or even Simon Stagg or Metamorpho, like you said, I just love the interaction between Bruce and then Superman. They still bicker, but then Batman realizes, like, in this issue, like, he's kind of pissed. He's like, what the hell, bro? It's like, why did you and Jimmy write the article about me basically, being the one who could gains the most from Simon Stagg's death? He's like, wow, because unlike you, I have a day job. He's like, well, guess what? Your day job just fucked up me being Batman for a while, because now I can't go be seen leaving, disappearing for hours. But then he realizes, he's like, you know what? This gives me more opportunity to do some more Bruce Wayne kind of stuff, because even what's his name said, Clark had said, like, Bruce, you have you got Donald Trump layers. You can just get out of anything. But we'll see how it holds true, though. But that is my number one, and I did get 2 other books. They didn't put it there because you guys would complain again, but look at that. Ishii 61.
Boo!
It's
the reprint.
It's not in the top 10. It's not in the top 10, so it's okay.
Oh, it's okay then. Okay,
Yeah,
I take back. I rescind my boos.
So what'd you go? Oob.
Reverse.
Yeah, this is the one where he kills his brother, little boy.
Ah, rip.
Yes, we saw the Gracie.
Mm-hmm.
Stare at the flowers. The other one is I know. Brain got this.
Did he? Oh,
I did.
Didn't get a chance to read it though.
I didn't either.
And because he had to bring it up earlier. It's my back issue. The first Mark Millar issue.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Mark Millar did Superman Adventures.
Yeah.
Like, wait,
No idea.
that's like his first comic book ever, or his first?
No,
Superman?
no, his first Superman Adventures book.
Okay. Oh, that's cool then. That's really cool.
Yeah, he went over like from 19 to 30.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Very cool.
I said when you read this, like I said, it's based off the animated series, and I feel the animated series and it's amazing that Mark is able to pay homage to that and actually capture the basic Paul Dini's and I think Alan Burnett.
What is homage? I've never heard that word before. Do you mean homage?
What about hoagies?
Homage.
Homage, that's it.
That golf clap you heard was for Rhaegar's last comment.
I only rescind my booze if it's Bud Light. Yes, we don't have Bud Light here. It is clearly Miller time on this channel.
Yes.
Or Millar time.
Well, it's actually pronounced Miller.
Oh, is it pronounced Miller? Okay.
Yeah, it's written as Millar. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that to differentiate between Mark Millar or Mark Miller and Mike S. Miller.
I'll tell you what, there are no bigger fans of Dylan Mulvaney than the folks over at the Miller Brewing Company right now. Because after decades, I mean, really since Miller Lite, when they used to do the celebrity commercials, tastes great, less filling, they've had worse writing on their commercials than Liberty Mutual.
Ooh.
And Bud Light has just been pummeling them going back to Spuds McKenzie and probably farther back than that. And now they've created an opening for Miller Lite to get that market share back.
Rhaegar, I have never worn a bow tie on this channel. I don't know why you're asking for one now.
And now, I guess, real quickly, because Eve's not here,
Yeah.
I'm going to eat my chips.
Go for it. You're not going to bother me. Those look good, actually. Oh, what is that pleasant sound? It's not like nails on a chalkboard at all. Jay Lucian, I'll raise you one better. All beer tastes terrible. There's not one beer out there that I've tried that I like. All beer is nasty.
You should not
wait a second. Well, hold on a second. If every beer you've tried you don't like, is it possible that you might be the problem?
Clearly, my taste buds are the problem. Rhaegar, yes, it is my Twitter handle. It is also my PlayStation handle. I was in a really big Doctor Who phase. So
You're a
that's
Pinot
fun.
Noir kind of guy, aren't you?
Actually, I like rum and Dr. Pepper. That is my go-to beverage of
Pinky
the adult
extended?
variety. Always have to be. Always. So I said this in the chat. I said I would run through my books from last week real quickly because I wasn't here to show them off. And I know Breen was hurting not seeing my Fantastic Four issues up here. I know you were wanting it, Breen. But yeah, I'll run through them really quickly. If you want my full opinion on them, you can check out my Twitter. I did pick up, this is Noctera, number 13, which is really good. Y'all should be reading that. I also got Captain America Cold War Alpha, Part 1.
Mid.
Not a bad book. Not a bad book. I like that I didn't have to read the Sam Wilson one to understand all of what was going on. I did appreciate that.
Well, you will in the next one.
Maybe. We'll find out. Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the revamped number 1. I got this really cool. It's like a tribute to Guardians the movie, Volume 2.
Mid.
I really enjoyed this one a lot. The art and the storytelling were really good. There you go, Breen, just for you. Fantastic Four, number 6.
Would have to improve to get to mid.
No, I still like this. This has a lot of good stuff between Johnny and Sue. The brother-sister relationship was real good.
In order for that to be great, it had to be
Wait a second. You better go into a little more detail than just
the brother-sister relationship.
I'm sorry. In order for that to be good, it had to be about almost 60 years old.
No, it could be 12 to 15 years old. Hickman is the peak, my friend. I'm sorry. You're
are
like halfway
smoking.
up.
And for those who are smoking today, Zachary started.
I have not had any of those drinks that y'all are listing in the chat either, Rhaegar and Jay. I see y'all. I don't need. What is a chocotini? Is that chocolate and alcohol? That sounds gross.
It sounds like somebody that would think that Jonathan Hickman has the best Fantastic Four run of all time would drink.
Oh, well then, yeah, I guess I'll have to try it.
They would be wrong, but yeah.
Moon Knight, number 22.
So from last week.
Tigra Without Stripes is weird. These are books from last week. And then my favorite book from last week, speaking of Mark Millar, Ambassadors, number 2, Carl Keschel. I need all the Carl Keschel art books now because I love his art style. All right, moving on to this week. Bottom of the stack. I don't know. I picked this up just for shits and giggles. Sonic the Hedgehog, number 59.
You like the cover? It has Katie on it. Whatever her name is.
Amy.
I don't know. Like I said, it has a girl on it.
It has every character pretty much in here doing some kind of.
It doesn't have the.
It doesn't have Knuckles. It does not have Knuckles.
Was it Abby or what was the one they had? The Acorn girl.
Sally Acorn.
Sally, it's Acorn now.
No, they don't have Sally. I think Sally's been like retconned out of existence.
I know. That's exactly. That sucks.
That's who Sonic's romance was originally.
Since you showed us Sonic real quick,
yeah,
I was going through a box of mostly Drek yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled out Sonic the Hedgehog issue 98.
Oh,
You know the significance of that? Because I sure didn't.
It's the first appearance of Tails.
I can't say that. No,
It's,
Tails was in 98.
Apparently, this was like 97. It was first appearance of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, shit. Oh, whoa.
And like three other characters.
Whoa.
$300.
Yeah, that Shadow's a big deal in the Sonic.
I mean, I only looked it up to see if I was going to put like $3 or $5 on it. You look as though you go, holy shit.
Hey, Breen, I'll send you $5 in shipping for that book.
So yeah, I was gonna say, did that book make it to the shop yet?
Yeah, it's already on. It's already dying on the wall. I would have showed it if I thought of it. I would have held on to it for a day to show it.
Honestly, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really cool actually because he's about to be a big deal.
If you're a video game fan and you love Sonic, that's absolutely.
Watch when Sonic the Hedgehog 3, when that movie comes out, I bet you somebody comes in there and
Shadow yet? Is Shadow been in any of them yet?
No, they showed him at the end of the second movie.
And on the same lines as far as money. Remember the series Adam Legend of the Blue Marvel? It was like 2009. You know who Adam is, right? The Blue Marvel, the black dude.
Yeah, I know who the Blue Marvel is. Yeah.
For whatever reason, that the first issue of that series is worth over $400, and the second issue is worth like 120. I found a number 2 today, but it has a blotch in the bottom left-hand corner. I don't know why it's worth so much. Maybe it's a low print run. And they talked about putting him in a movie. I really have no idea.
That's weird. Yeah.
I thought the Blue Marvel was a whale.
There's so many series at that same time are worthless,
Mm-hmm.
but this one's worth
The
tons.
Who
last
was the writer on that?
Kevin Graveau.
I have no idea who that is. Okay.
He was.
Yeah.
Well, you should. He wrote the. You're a New Warriors fan, are you?
Yeah, the original one.
Remember the New Warriors series around Dark Reign?
I didn't read that. I read like I'm in like the 80s, 90s New Warriors. I haven't.
Yeah,
got
he
up
wrote
to
that.
the
He's
Hey, is that when I wrote Speedball?
he's not no he's not the one who made him penance. No.
No.
But he's pretty sure he's a black dude, but he's not woke.
He's not. Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Respect.
yeah.
Cool.
He's more
Speaking
like
of
a Christopher
respect,
Priest.
speaking of respect, I'm about to get a whole lot less of it. Got She-Hulk number 12. This is the last Patrick Gleason cover they had at my shop. So lucky me.
That is probably the only good thing. Just never open it. Just leave it in the bag.
The inside story is not terrible. It's still very slice of life-ish. There's some fun. There's some funny parts to it.
Well,
there is a fun there. So there's two stories. They're both written by the same woman. They're both written by Rainbow Rowell. But the second one is kind of funny. Is Jen wants to have a book club, so she invites all these different ladies that she knows. One's the Invisible Woman, but when she shows up, she's got Franklin and Valeria behind her because they're both grounded. So that was kind of fun. I enjoyed that. But it's not winning any awards, but it's a fun, lighthearted book. No Jack of Hearts.
As long as it's won your heart.
was name
She-Hulk will always have my heart, sir. No, there was no name. There was no Namor. There was Mr. Fantastic. Moving along, this one surprised me. I really just got it because I liked the cover, but the story inside was actually pretty cool. This is the Mighty Barbarians. This is number 1. This is from Ablaze Comics, and I got it because it's the Justice League homage cover, which I love with Starro. The story inside is pretty cool. So it's set in like that, Sumerian kind of setting. Well, partially. What you have is these wizards have like this evil that they're spreading across different universes. And so Morgan Le Fay from King Arthur's time goes from world to world recruiting different warriors and barbarians to help her fight these evil wizards. So there's like a guy that can transform into a polar bear. There's a Norse shield maiden. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I'll probably pick up issue number 2. The art style is really good. I enjoyed it.
How do you defeat a guy who turns himself into a polar bear?
You don't. You die. The polar bear is the world's largest land predator.
No, you give him a Coca-Cola.
No. Yeah. Give him a Coca-Cola and watch in horror as he rips your arm off.
Or that Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's the greatest marketing Coca-Cola ever did. Let's take the world's largest land predator that'll
there you
kill
go.
a man.
I got the idea for Cocaine Bear too.
Cocaine Bear 2.
It's a polar
Surrounded
bear.
by cocaine. You can't tell what's snow and what's cocaine. All right. Number 4. Your number 4 shocked me. My number 4 is going to shock you.
It's for Flash.
Flash 797. Yeah, it drops down a little bit this week. I did like the story. I did like the whole babysitting dynamic between Wallace and the twins.
Adventures of Babysitting.
I like the Super Sons. Yeah, I thought it's a cute little filler story. I enjoyed it. Really fun, really lighthearted. Kind of similar to She-Hulk. But yeah, Jeremy Adams did a good job with it. I like the cliffhanger ending. I don't know that it'll lead anywhere, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. The reason that it really brought up for me was Super Sons, because every time I get to see Super Sons in there too, but if Super Sons weren't in there, it's kind of like, okay.
If you say it one more time, I'm sure Tevye is going to pop up in chat.
You've said it multiple times.
Next after that, we've got number 3, a little higher up on my list. We have Deceased. This is the finale to War of the Undead Gods. And I do have words on this. It's over, which I'm kind of relieved on. And at the same time, I'm like, God help me if Tom Taylor comes up with a volume 4 or 5, whatever we're on. I did like the ending. I like the whole, now, here's the thing though. There's like sacrifices and things that happen, but they don't mean a lot because Tom Taylor doesn't spend a whole lot of time on the characters that are meant to evoke that emotion. So like you showed that scene between Damien and Cassie, that's supposed to be a really intense emotional scene, but we don't get that because we haven't spent a whole lot of time with Damien and Cassie together. So on that part, I have an issue with it. On the other part, I did like the finale. I like how it ended. I like how it kind of was a callback to the first volume. There's a piece of dialogue I had completely forgotten about. I actually went back to reread it this morning just to make sure. I was like, is this really there? There's a piece of dialogue that Green Arrow shares with Damien in the first Deceased story. And the way that Tom Taylor was able to take that dialogue, I don't know if he had this planned out since the beginning or what, but the way he was able to take that and morph that into this ending here, I liked it. I thought it fit. So I enjoyed it. The art was good. Guy Gardner taking a swing at Darkseid was funny. It was typical Guy Gardner stuff. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I also thought for a guy that writes Harley and Ivy as the lesbian couple they are everywhere, it's been kind of refreshing not to see them in every issue like we normally do, because this has all been in space. So, Deceased, a mini-series I can finally scratch off my list. One less.
Like I said, it was such a letdown. Darkseid finally, we see him. He got his powered up, and then he's I'm going to go do this, and then nothing.
To be fair, Darkseid isn't as powerful in this as Ares or the Black Raven. Ares is supposed to be like a much bigger deal than Darkseid. He's like an old god instead of a new god. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. The art was all right. The art was really cool for a cosmic level book. I liked it. So number 2, this is, I know, Venkman's favorite. I did really enjoy it. This one I didn't enjoy quite as much as last issue. This one was all right though. I did like seeing Oliver Queen show up again. I liked Dick Grayson, seeing him use his detective skills. Seeing Metamorpho do some fighting was fun. I'm curious to see where it goes. Like Venkman said, it does bring up like Amazo's creator and all these different billionaires in the world. It's a real interesting idea. I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. Breen, if you ever get a chance, I would recommend, because none of these other stories that he's doing really connect to modern DC. They're pretty isolated from what I can tell.
The creepy thing is we see the Metal Men.
The Metal Men, yeah. They do reference the Metal Men. I think we'll probably see them pop in the next week.
Well, they actually showed one of them.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll
bats.
see more. Yeah, we'll see more. I'm sure. Well, they can't die. Not that I know of. All right, my number 1 book of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, this book, forget the price tag for a second. I'm okay paying for quality. This is a quality story. This is a quality book that Joshua Williamson is writing. First of all, there's Lex Luthor, who Superman has to reluctantly team up with. And the way that Williamson writes Superman having to turn to Lex for help because he needs his brain. But then also by the end of the book, you're like, oh, Superman hasn't entirely given up. He knows that Lex is capable of doing good things for humanity. So he's not like, he hasn't given up hope on him. I really appreciated that. I like what they did with Parasite. I think it was really, really interesting what they did with Parasite throughout this whole first story arc. I'm curious to see, they give you a little teaser who the next villain is that's going to be making an appearance. I'm really anxious to see how that works. But then the thing that I really liked, I kind of almost had a little bit of it spoiled for me in a preview, but the way he writes Lois and Clark together, I really, really love that the marriage and the romance between them. It's only like a page or two that it's touched on, but it's done really, really well, really tastefully. Really enjoy that. And Jamal Campbell's artwork is amazing. Don't listen to Venkman, y'all. John Byrne can have Superman drawn big and bulky as Clark Kent. So can Jamal Campbell. Yeah, really, really great book. I'm hoping that he stays on Superman for a long time. I hope the quality stays the same once his Green Arrow starts coming out and his Batman and Robin. I hope Williamson's able to keep all those plates spinning efficiently. I do have a couple of back issues here. I picked up a trade. Speaking of Mark Millar, I got Chrononauts, drawn by Sean Gordon Murphy. So I haven't quite opened up this one yet to take a read. This guy looks like Wolverine to me. Like he's got the hair and the sideburns. It looks like Wolverine. So going to be tearing into that pretty soon. And then I got myself a little. I got one of those 5 comic packs at Ollie's, and it was really good. I thought I got a Catwoman number 10 by Duffy and Balint. So that's really cool. Got a Shadow Pact number 1.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a shock. I got an old Conan. This is 147. Got this one I actually read through because I didn't remember this one. This is one of the Avengers Initiative ones. This is Dan Slott, but also Christos Gage. So he probably did.
That was a very good series.
This is, yeah. I was reading through this. Speaking of Tigra from Moon Knight, this one had a lot of interesting stuff going on with Tigra. And then Venkman, I know will appreciate this one. Stars and Stripe number 7. So, yeah, that was a nice little surprise 5 comic pack from Ollie's. So, there you go, Ollie's. And that's it. That is what I've got for comics for this week.
I was trying to find a image.
So, yeah, I get your point there on Zach on Superman,
Yes.
but also, at what point, where does it end? How is it going to be $6 for a 32-page book next year? It's just there's got to be a breaking point at some point for these comics. It was bad enough when they put a backup story nobody gives a shit about. Now they don't even do that, but still charge $5. It's almost like they're begging people not to buy them. And, I get you don't mind paying for quality, but it's put in perspective.
That's fair.
I mean, that is 25 times more expensive than the first new comic I bought.
Mm-hmm.
What else has gone up? What else is 25 times more expensive? Nothing.
Cars, eggs,
No,
milk.
no, not 25 times more. Because that would be, if a dozen eggs were $1, that means they'd be 25 now. Nothing. No other good or service has risen faster than inflation more than comic books.
So I wanna say something. I don't know about Byrne, but this is from Jerry Ordway. This is how he used to draw Superman. And look at his physique. It's kind of almost like a Dan Slaughter physique, as far as he's slimmed down. He's not basically like super exaggerated. Now, I like Jamal when he draws Superman. I just don't like when he draws Clark Kent.
Well, you can't change his body and make him slimmer when he's Clark Kent.
Yeah, you can.
No,
You can't just like have him suck it in, and he can't do. It's not realistic. It's not like Superman just like inhales and
a Kryptonian with superpowers. My God, is realistic. That's okay.
Chat, you decide. 1, if Venkman is right. 2, if Breen and I are right. Go. I'm gonna sick him on you. The power of the people. Okay, Marania does say, all right, I'll give Marania props.
People power.
She does say you can disguise the bulk with baggier clothes. Okay, I will concede that. You could do that, theoretically. That is true.
Well, that's kind of what he's doing in that issue. He's got that big zoot suit on.
What about you, Brain? You pick up anything this week? Back issues?
No,
Just the Vampire Carmella?
Yeah.
Empress Carmella? That's cool.
yeah. Yes, I kind of wish I'd been buying World's Finest and Flash and Superman. I didn't mind the first two that I read.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I said I'm the big two are just. It's almost like they're going out of their way to piss me off.
Well, I the other day I actually, not just because comics are an expensive hobby, also just because of me trying to be smarter with my budget, I actually trimmed down my comic list, my pull list, to where I have like 11 or 12 ongoings that I'm gonna keep myself to, and yeah, that was rough. I mean, some books I even showed off tonight aren't gonna make the final cut. So yeah,
I was trying to remember. It's like DC, I can't remember what it was. They did something that really hacked me off because it made me realize that they don't give a crap about what Jeff Johns is doing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a crap about what Jeremy Adams is doing. They're just interested in their next event, the next character that they can have come out. But I'm trying to remember what it was, and it would really help if I remembered that before I make that video tomorrow.
Is that like the key part of your video?
The key.
Well, I'm hoping. I said, I don't know if you heard. I said I'm doing a video with Wes tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I haven't done one with him in months.
Oh, very cool. When's it? Is it going to be a live?
We're going to record it tomorrow, but I don't know if it's. Depends on how topical it gets, whether or not he releases it right away or sits on it for a little bit. But it's the Spider-Man thing. Just like I said, that was
Spider-Man. Oh, have y'all talked about Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Have y'all gone off on Spider-Man yet? Because boy, I saw what's his name? Gabe. I think from Weird Science had tweeted about it. I think Monday or Tuesday. And Ooh,
it pisses me. I mean, I'm at the point where it doesn't even make me mad anymore. It just depresses me.
I tweeted out. I'm not even a Spider-Man fan. You know this, Nick, but I'm not even a huge Spider-Man fan. But I saw like the two panels. Like, okay, the kids are Mary Janes now apparently, and I was like, listen, because I know guys that have said this to me. I don't like what they're doing with Spider-Man, but I'm a completionist and a collector, so I have to get. Like, no, you don't. Because every time you buy an issue, you're telling Marvel, okay, hurt Peter Parker again. Like, cut them off. Like, if you go pick up some Jeremy Adams Flash, pick up some Superman, get some happy superhero couple books. Because you're not going to find it in Spider-Man.
When they decided to end the Spider-Man marriage, and stuff, they basically do erase that and put Dance on the book, and then kept teasing, oh, look, it's Mary Jane. No, it's Jackpot. Oh, look, it's it's someone else. And then, oh, wait, it's Mary Jane. She's dating some other guy. And then we find out she knew about, she didn't forget. She knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but won't tell Peter.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And then the last straw, Mary Jane is not working for Tony Stark. I was like, if they have,
that was a while ago, though. That's not brand new. That was
I know, but I'm saying, I said, at the time, everybody said, said, Matt, watch, you're gonna have Mary Jane just basically get a relationship with Tony Stark.
That was when Tony was popping because of the movies. They had him on the Guardians and everything. It's like, that was really weird.
Some more art by Jerry Ordway.
I didn't realize this was turning into the Jerry Ordway fan power hour.
See how he slouches over? He's a little more clear, but he slouches over, and so it makes him look a bit bigger than he is. But so
hey, look, it's Breen. I mean Perry White.
It's the Ordway Appreciation Society. He's comics entertainer.
Yes. Like I said, Burn Ordway, and I think this is an Ordway cover too as well. Like I said, like you can, he is kind of similar to Dan Mora. He's just got more. He's more toned.
Hey, just be grateful. I mean, be pissed that it's $5, but be grateful that it's not Bendis.
That's true. You could be paying $5 for Bendis. Shoot, Bendis would probably be
if
more.
If it was Bendis, I'd be saving $5.
That's also true.
But That being said, I'm surprised our boy's not here in the chat.
Who? Mr. On Comics or Mr. Light the Beam?
Well, we know Mr. Light the Beam is too busy lighting the beam. And
Yeah,
light something else.
Well, this
Somebody else. It is that day.
this yeah there's not gonna be any beams lighting tonight
Oh,
so,
no.
because it's when teams go down 2-0 and then go home, they almost always win game 3. And I don't even know if Sabonis is playing from Draymond Green, Christian Laettner, his can't remember the guy's name on Kentucky that he stomped in the chest that day, but apparently it did messed up Sabonis too, so he might be out. I'm not sure.
So good
one
news.
One of the Bucks guys fell out on his back. He's got concussions or
Well, you saw the guy from the Warriors literally stomped on a guy's chest,
yeah.
Oh,
and he got suspended for game 3. But
dang! Wow,
that's Draymond Green. He's got a history of doing stupid shit.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So good news is, from what I'm seeing, there are no books next week that look like they get near the $5, $6, except for Action and Detective Comics, which I'm only keeping one of those going forward. Y'all can guess which one. I'm gonna.
It's Action
y'all.
Comics. Because you're like, screw you, Ram V.
When have I said screw you, Ram V? I'm reading Ram V books.
You're choosing the lesser writer over Ram V. Your twin will be
Phil
disappointed.
Kennedy Johnson, Dan Jurgens. Those are lesser writers. I think they're all on the same playing field.
You don't like the Dan Jurgens.
I like the Dan Jurgens. Who said I didn't like the Dan Jurgens?
You said it's mid.
Wait, I'm curious. Undead Quinn. Which one are you saying? Just don't buy it.
He's probably talking about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not. It's and
No. He's. I think he's in reference to
the people the completion. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And the thing is, and that is why people buy it, because they have that really shitty trick of reverting to legacy numbers whenever they get to an anniversary.
Yep.
Theoretically, there's 441 issues of Amazing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Once they stop that, because I do agree with Aaron on that.
There's only one.
I like to give him crap. I like to listen to him bomb Pearl Harbor, but at least with DC in those two instances, they only screwed up once. That's one too many. But there are something like 7 versions of Spider-Man to get to this number.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to keep buying them to say you have a complete run, because really, if you have the first 400, and who has all the Spider-Mans? I mean,
That's the other thing. Yeah, there's a huge amount. Like, guys, I've been collecting New Warrior and West Coast Avengers books for like 2 or 3 years now. I'm still nowhere close to completing that run.
But I mean,
and those are smaller than 400 issues too.
like I said, at one point I had 1 through 700.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never have those again, obviously, because hell, my goal now is to own 1 Ditko Spider-Man. I'm not even sure I can pull that off.
Right.
So what do we really, for the completionists, unless they go back to, Amazing Spider-Man #1, why keep buying shit? Especially when you've got, now, what would be cool? It's not going to happen, but if in issue 25 it turns out all of it was a fake and they end up back together, but it won't be, because they love to piss fans off. I've never seen.
Yeah, it's such an
industry
antagonistic view.
More determined, more like Aaron Sparrow, antagonistic.
Fantagonistic, yeah.
No other. It's like they go out of their way to shed customers. Now I realize they want a different kind of person reading their product, and we're not it. But
what'd be cool?
Who they're trying to get isn't getting their books either.
Right.
So dance with the girl that brought you. I mean,
I gotta say,
yeah.
what'd be cool if Zach was actually wanted to be cool and get the Avengers, Lost Heroes, or Cross Time.
No, he is getting that. It's
I am getting that. I've been reading every issue so far.
I haven't seen your top 5 anywhere.
It's all every issue's been in his top 5.
Every issue has been in my top 5. What are you talking about, boy? Okay, if you're smoking the synthetic stuff, you need to stop because that can kill you.
Look, it's he we spit in his face for Joe Fix It because he don't want to be cool.
I don't want to be cool.
You know. Speaking of synthetics and all of that tree of Maranias, eventually
I was like, where are you going with this?
the synthezoid, it needs to be put down.
No, I'm especially getting number 5. I love the cover for number 5 with all the different Avengers on it for War Across Time. And then once that ends, that'll be another mini series I can scratch off my list, and I don't have to worry about. So that'll be good.
Until the next 12.
God. Hey, look. Hey, no lie. If what's his name? Who is it? Levitz? Yeah. Levitz and Davis want to do like any other throwback to Avengers, or shoot, if they want to do like Fantastic Four or whatever, I'll be there.
Like I said, I'd have David Michelin and Bob Layden do an Iron Man.
That would be awesome. I would buy that.
Yeah.
I would want, if I could bring back a team, I'd want Simonson back on Thor probably, especially Kate's had such a cool thing going, and it got me like really wanting like some quality Thor, and now he's off of it.
I think Kate's on Thor was dreadful.
Really?
Yeah, the idea of Galactus being somebody's bitch is just, and Don Blake being a psycho on whatever, psychopathic murderer because he was lonely. He's a construct for one. Mm-hmm. It just, I said, Donny Cates, for all the, I realize that he stands out among this new crop of writers, and I'm not saying he's not a good writer because he does have some good credits. I don't think Thor's one of them.
Yeah,
because there's certain things, there's a reason why certain things have never been done,
right?
Because they don't need to be done. It's like when Saladin Ned came up with the idea that Black Bolt should be able to talk, and he's hanging out in that prison, chatting up the Absorbing Man. What kind of nonsense is that?
Yeah, that's
Black Bolt never even had thought balloons because that was the whole point.
Yeah, you had Medusa there.
What he was thinking. The people had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
I want to choir a Black Bolt singing.
And now, given how he's been misused for the last 10 years, I'm not sure Brubaker did us any favors with Winter Soldier.
Oh, didn't you hear that Medusa? Pretty much, she's now married to some other guy and his kids.
No, she's not.
Every redheaded Marvel's gonna be like this.
What? Medusa's not married. No, she's not.
That's a good one, actually. But it's
yeah. Once he learned how to speak, he's like, "I learned, eh?"
No, I said it's. I love the Winter Soldier. That run of Captain America was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of my.
But they probably should have killed him again for real, because now just am I good? Am I bad? What now? I've got my arm can do anything.
Am I a man?
Well, I wonder if I have to think that if they knew to the extent what Marvel would do to Bucky after bringing him back, they probably would have killed him off, maybe, or something. You can't know what Marvel's gonna do.
Undead Quinn says he hated Kate's Thor. What did you hate about it? Be specific. Don't just say like I hated it.
Now, speaking of things
don't go all Anglantine. Maybe he's gonna cite the same things I did.
Yeah. No. Speaking of things that we'll probably hate. Did you guys see that DC Comics announced yesterday they're going to be doing a modern Tales of the Teen Titans miniseries, talking about the modern origins of Starfire, Wonder Girl, Beast Boy, and Cyborg, and Raven. So that's 5. Which I'm not.
I did not hear that because I was too busy.
Not too crazy about that.
Okay.
Because Steve Orlando is writing the Raven one.
And
Teeny,
Nate
no,
Martin-
I'm sorry. Teeny Howard is writing the Raven one. Excuse me.
Here's my take on that.
It's worse.
Who in the blue hell are Teeny Howard, Stevie Orlando, and whatever other 3 garbage tier writers that think they can improve upon Marv Wolfman and George Perez?
That's my thing. It's like Marv Wolfman is still kicking. Like, why don't you have him do this stuff for you?
Every time I see
Which one's
Miguel-
Megan Fitzmartin doing?
She's not on any. She's not announced on any.
Every
Well,
time
I'm sure
I
it'll be in
see,
the spirit of her. Sorry, Beck.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
go ahead.
every time I see Spider-Man 2099 is a new series, and who's writing? Steve Orlando.
So number 1 is on Starfire, and it's written by Shannon Hale and art by Javier. Shannon Hale wrote the new Amethyst. Oh, she wrote Nubia, Princess of the Amazon.
This ought to be okay. So Starfire's a dyke now. Okay.
Also, I mean, I will say credit where it's due to Chris Samney. I think it was Chris Samney. He's doing a variant, and he put Starfire back in that classic bikini.
Only for
Thing.
the variant, because you
Only
know
for the
that
variant.
costume doesn't exist anymore.
Oh no!
She'll
Oh,
be
no, it does
completely
not.
covered up. Because remember, his version of Amethyst basically intimated that she was a lesbian now.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was the princeless idea.
Yeah. There was no. Yeah, you're
And
right. You're right.
like I said, God, this okay. Thank you.
All right.
This now I got something to rant about tomorrow.
You can rant about. There you go. I just poured some gasoline on the fire. Steve Orlando is writing the Donna Troy one, which I don't like.
Okay,
Beast
I have a
Boy.
question. In all seriousness,
Sure.
why if you're going to write a woman character now,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a man, why is it that only gay men are allowed to write women now?
For the same reason. I don't know. I don't want to get us kicked off YouTube. I'll just say look up Matt Walsh and his opinion, and mine would be pretty close to that. But yeah, and also it was funny because the cover A's kind of feature like prominent characters or prominent historical moments from these characters' backgrounds. So like Raven's cover A has Trigon in the background, and Beast Boy's got like the Doom Patrol. Wonder Girl's only thing is there are multiple Earths behind her, because that was the thing, right? Donna Troy had like multiple origins, so it was like.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing on Donna Troy's cover is her marriage to Terry.
Well,
It's like, wow, they forgot all the stuff about Donna Troy except for that awful marriage, and she had the multiverse.
Teeny Howard, Stevie Orlando, and all these guys and gals. I'm sure their knowledge of the characters' past are about as comprehensive as Gabby Rivera's was of the X-Men. Oh, I remember the cartoon, and remember Storm had this bitchin' mohawk.
Yeah.
These will be terrible.
I'm not a huge
But
fan
again,
of this new Starfire look
It's
either.
it's Teen Titans for the audience they want.
Yep.
I gotta say though, instead of being negative, and
I will
just-
say,
and just talking about what the bad they're doing, you can go back and talk about the good they used to do.
you
Like we're doing
could.
tomorrow on the retrospective.
Oh yeah, is that the one where they race for? Oh, that's not the charity one.
No, it's a race against time with Jimmy Olsen's life at stake.
I will say I do like this cover
Yeah,
from
it's the
Chris
first-
Samney.
It's the first appearance of the Pied Piper, Phil Hartman.
Hmm.
All right, and
Yeah, I do like this Chris Samney cover.
so
That
tomorrow
is-
night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the retrospective on that.
So
Be there or be with Breen.
Breen's a square.
No, I didn't say a square. Just be with Breen because I don't think Breen's going to show up.
Oh, is Breen not joining us tomorrow? Oh.
He'll be in the chat though.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
I don't know.
Okay.
He's kind of quiet right now.
Are we reading anything tomorrow night?
Yeah. We should have some stuff. Palpatine will be here Friday and Sunday. It's his last weekend here with us.
Right before he gets trafficked off to the Philippines.
Yes, he's
And he ends up lying in a bathtub kidneyless with ice.
But I heard that he's gonna have a bucket of ice cream.
So, in the good news column, Guys, today was Jason Aaron's last day as an Avengers writer. Or this week, I should say, was his last week as an Avengers
If you
writer.
ended Jason Aaron's last day, that would have been so much better.
I mean, it would have been, but I mean, what else is he writing besides Avengers? I mean, that was like his big thing.
Punisher.
He did Punisher too. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I know. Let's make him a school shooter.
yikes! But
the Punisher is in high school now.
he's not on Avengers anymore. So that's
But the you guys are acting like this. It's going to get better with Jed McKay, and
good.
it'll be marginally better, but it still all revolves around Carol.
It won't be better until we get the Uncanny Avengers come back.
Not really looking forward to that. I think
Yeah.
Uncanny Avengers ran its course. The first run was the best with Rick Remender, and then they did the Deadpool one. It was really weird.
Whoever does Remender on there the whole entire series?
No, he wasn't on there. All right, so there's the first volume, which deals with Red Skull stealing Professor X's brain, and then there's the Apocalypse Twins.
Axis.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay, so yeah, Axis, but by the time Axis comes, Rick Remender, I think, has run his course on Uncanny Avengers. After Axis, it's a different team, and I think it's a different writer. It was not very good, and in that second volume only lasted for like 6 issues, and then they changed it up again. That volume 2 was written by who? Come on, Marvel fandom, go faster! God dog it! This was in 2015, so technically it doesn't exist.
Well, I'm just saying, whoever.
That actually. Whoops, that one is written by Rick Remender as well. But it's not as good as the first volume. Volume one is the best
like I
one.
say, I love Rick Remender did the Class, but if he was the one that basically had Rogue trying to date Deadpool.
No. Okay, Deadpool's not in 1 or 2.
Which one is
That-
it? Because he joined the Avengers.
Deadpool is in number 3, which number 3 is written by.
Also Rick Remender.
No, it's not. It's Gary Duggan.
That's why.
That guy.
And that's why Gary Duggan's writing this one. Callback.
Yeah. That's also where they put the Human Torch on the Avengers team, because this was after Secret Wars, so there was no Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because when I saw the trailer for this solicit, I was like, wait, this can't be current because like they hate each other. But wait, there's no continuity, so who gives a shit?
Who hates each other?
Rogue actually.
The X-Men and the Avengers.
Yeah, well, that was the whole reason that this team was formed in the first place, because it was after the Avengers versus X-Men event, and so Captain America and Havoc.
They all hate each other.
Well, after Avengers versus X-Men, Steve and Havoc were like, listen, we need to be better. We need to show people we can work together. So they made what was called the Unity Squad, which is a dumb name. But it was basically they took certain X-Men, they took certain Avengers, and they put them on a team together. And there were some X-Men that didn't want, like Rogue didn't want to be there because Wanda was on the team. And all the mutants still hate Wanda for the No More Mutants thing. But then they also had like Thor, Sunfire, Wonder Man. This is where Wonder Man went through like his really big pacifist stage, which was really weird.
Wasn't it also when the Inhumans doused the Earth with Surgeon Mist?
No. This wasn't. I mean, if it was, it wasn't involved in this series. Because the X-Men were still around. This wasn't when Marvel decided they wanted to.
All I remember is reading a panel, and it was like Rogue was basically she was affected by the Surgeon Mist. It was killing her.
No. That would have been around the Gary Duggan run then.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah. Volume 1 was good. Volume 1 was the best. Volume 2 was really mid. Like I said, it was only 6 issues or so, and it involved the High Evolutionary, who was everywhere at the time.
Gary Duggan on that book is very.
No, he was less than mid. He was less than mid.
Ironically, though,
it was less than mid.
Gary Duggan.
Well, I said it's like Doc. And remember, Doc was right. He calls him generic Duggan.
One of these days he'll be geriatric Duggan too.
Ronnie was asking, what is the books for tomorrow? Obviously, I'm assuming for tomorrow night it's going to be some more Fantastic Four and maybe another Spider-Man. Sunday though, Sunday night is Batman 608.
Guess who? Guess who's
Okay,
writing? Guess who's writing Volume 4 of Uncanny Avengers? Gary Duggan.
Yeah. Yeah. So So that's not a volume 4. It's just is it a callback, right?
It is. No, it is. It is. It is on Marvel Fandom as Uncanny Avengers Volume 4.
What was
Oh.
Matthew Rosenberg busy?
Maybe.
Jason Aaron's not busy. Put him on that shit.
Honestly, Jason Aaron might be better than Gary Duggan.
Jason, no.
I think so. I would read a Jason Aaron.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan is better than Jason.
Gary
Aaron.
Duggan. Gary Duggan. Listen, I read Bendis Guardians of the
Zach
Galaxy,
don't get.
and when Gary Duggan took over, I was like, I'll try it out. And Gary Duggan was a step down.
Well,
Zach just completely ignored it.
Generic Duggan is just that. He is blah. But Jason Aaron, if given enough time, is objectively bad. He does damage. Generic Duggan he's the guy you call to, I'm going to be out of town for a couple weeks. Can you make sure that my lawn doesn't have any crabgrass when I get back? And you get back, and it's probably not going to have any crabgrass. You ask Jason Aaron to do it, and you come back, and God only knows what's growing in that yard.
You come back and Jason Aaron's like, yeah, don't worry, your lawn's fine. I've been on vacation too.
Yes.
Yeah, I sent in a story. I wrote it on a napkin while I was flying. And it's just 20 pages of just them trying to order dinner.
Why is your impersonation of Jason Aaron sound like William Shatner?
I'm not talking about. What do you mean? I'm not trying to impersonate anybody.
It sounds like you are.
Why would I want to impersonate Jason Aaron? Okay, here's Jason
You're not.
Aaron.
You're impersonating William Shatner.
No, I wasn't.
You said you're talking. You were talking in this stuttered and spaced out form of speech.
Well, it is okay to talk like this when it is 420. The adventure. Yes, it is. Do not worry.
I'm not worried. I was just asking.
Lost train of thought.
You do that a
Jason
lot.
Aaron is, I'm
Don't
old.
say blah, blah, blah.
Fuck you. Apparently he's leaving to try his hand at other things.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he's not Marvel exclusive anymore.
Trying to be good.
What a novel concept.
Don't
Hey.
worry. He'll make God the God Butcher.
What if we find out that it wasn't Jason
Sure.
Aaron being so bad? It was just his editors. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
Okay, there's the one problem with that.
What's that?
There are no editors.
You're correct, sir. That is a problem in my logic. You are correct.
Yes, these books are going to be shallow deep. Not
Shallow deep.
even Dan Slott can say he's been shallow deep on a book or anything else.
Wow.
No. Although he can say that he's had mustard and bigotry on his comics before because he bought a Marvel book and spilled mustard on it while eating his hot dog.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Although, who was that guy I heard of? There was someone who got like mayonnaise all over a comic he was supposed to sign. I forgot who it was. Was it Neil? No, it wasn't Neil Adams. Was it? No. I don't remember who it was.
Mayonnaise on there? Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like eating a sandwich while he was at a table meeting people, and he got like mayonnaise and crumbs and stuff all over his hands. It's like, oh yeah, let me sign it. And people were like, no, don't touch my comic. Wipe your hands off.
Probably Dan Slott.
Might have been. Oh, it could have been. I don't think.
But
it
then
was
again,
that.
I don't see anybody going up to Dan Slott's table.
See, there you go. So I don't think it was
Dan
Dan Slott.
Slott is just like, you're all bigots. You're all toxic fans.
Yep.
Yes. Like I said, it's just ironic that guy who's such a toxic personality will block people and then talk shit about them.
I know. Yeah, I had to find the screenshot. I tweeted out something that he tweeted. Yeah, Dan Slott was like, random person. Seems like he doesn't. Well, I forgot what he said exactly. I gotta go look it up. But he was like, wow, yeah, this guy stands against Comic Gate and Snyderverse, like seems like a good guy, but then he also goes and is antagonistic towards Marvel editorial every time we do something he doesn't like to Spider-Man. I was like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe your writing is so bad, Dan, that it's not just the comic skaters that are, normal folks are waking up to it too.
Is it Greg Capullo?
Wait, what about Greg Capullo?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's anti Zack Snyder.
No. It was I don't know who he was talking about. He said no. So here's what he said. He said comic fan post about how toxic some parts of the comic fandom are, often focusing on Snyder Bros and Comicsgate, which he tries to do the cute little thing where you take out the vowels and you put the asterisk in, but he completely messes up on the O of Comicsgate. Dan Slott, probably one of his fingers hit 2 keys at once or something. But then he says, the second part, exact same comic fan will regularly show up on Wednesdays to insult an editor from the Spider Office when he wishes everyone else a happy new comic book day. The exact same comic fan has lamented that a very talented comic book writer has stated they would like to avoid writing Spider-Man in the future because apparently some elements of the Spider-Man fan base are too toxic for Dan Slott.
Well, maybe these people realize that he didn't want to piss off fans.
What? Oh, somebody was like, was it Zeb Wells? He was like, I was told not to do conventions or cons anymore because Spider-Man fans are too toxic. It's like,
no, because they think there's going to be so pissed off over what he does in issue 26.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that's, LOL cute.
Right.
Screw that.
Yeah.
I said,
honestly,
I said when you know you could double the sales on your book just by giving fans what they want, but they're proud of not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, it sucks that anybody gives these jagoffs money at this point.
Could it be? I just had this thought. We were just talking about Inhumans. Could it be Marvel is sabotaging Spider-Man's title on purpose because they don't have the rights to the movies? Because they did that with X-Men.
We talked about that before you got here.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Yeah,
also,
they want it to be. They would love it to be Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
But
they can't even use Miles though because Sony would have the rights to him because it's a Spider-Man character.
Yep.
No, they've got the rights to Peter Parker Spider-Man. I don't think they have the rights to Miles.
Well, they have the Into the Spider-Verse. That's done by Sony.
That's Sony does. Sony has rights to Miles. And
I think
else.
I think anybody that has a direct connection to Peter Parker and Spider-Man, because like Black Cat, Silver Sable, Marvel doesn't have access to them. I think
Silver Sable, Green Goblin.
Yeah. I think those are all.
There must be something that they can with Miles, because that's definitely who they want going forward.
Oh, I'm sure it is who they want. I have no doubt it's who they want. But I think Sony still has rights to Miles and Peter. I think Sony has rights to any Spider character.
If the rights are the same for both of those characters, it makes no sense for them not to push Peter, because Peter Parker is the Spider-Man that normies are going to remember.
Right.
50 years ago, today, and 50 years from now. It will never be Miles Morales to that degree.
But here's my thing. If Marvel, like completely sabotages and tears apart the Spider-Man, I think what they might, this is all speculation, by the way. I think what they might want is, okay, let's make Spider-Man such an unpopular title that Sony can't make billions of dollars off the movies, and they'll be begging Marvel or Disney to buy the rights back.
I'm going to poke holes in that logic.
Okay.
The number of people that the comic books reach.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a fraction.
It's not enough to, because again, like I said, 98% of the people that have seen those Spider-Man movies haven't read a Spider-Man comic book.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just, it's infinitesimal. So there's no, and that's why these guys are allowed to do this shit, because they've literally been beneath the notice of the parent company.
But then, I mean, they did that with X-Men and Fantastic Four, though, with them not printing those comics.
That was spite.
Oh, okay.
You
don't think it would be spite here? Maybe.
I'm actually kind of surprised. Well, the Fantastic Four, that was easy because they're in the one book, but Spider-Man is the flagship character. Now,
Right.
X-Men may be more popular as a as a franchise right now, or at one point they were, which is I'm kind of surprised that they killed off Wolverine for a time. Even I would have thought they would have kept him going even if they were downplaying the rest of the X-Men. But I don't know why. I mean, it was cutting off their nose to spite their face with X-Men and Fantastic Four. Now with Spider-Man, I think it's different. I think they're I don't know, it's almost like they get some kind of perverse kick out of pissing off the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Marvel 10 years ago, they were just kind of like ignoring Fantastic Four and
Right.
X-Men fans.
I'm sorry. I just saw this article on CBR. It's trash.
I thought you were laughing at Rhaegar's comments.
No,
I was like,
no.
It's like Rhaegar just kind of made my brain vomit reading that. I was
So
like, why is
Marvel
Rhaegar laughing?
did the event. Okay, Avengers Assemble Omega. That's Jason Aaron, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's his last Avengers comic.
So
Yep.
you know what he did?
Yeah, he gave Thor Phoenix powers
Yes.
because he hasn't toyed around with that lore enough.
And as a lot of people have commented on, the only two people that should ever have touched anything to do with the Phoenix Force was Jean Grey and Rachel Summers. No one else.
Not it'll come to me. Don't worry about it.
Hold on, I got a silverfish to kill.
A swordfish?
Silverfish.
Oh, okay. So why do you have a swordfish? Yeah, thanks, Rhaegar. I'm glad you find that funny. My brain's
Gross.
over here hanging over a toilet. God.
Gross.
A Dylan Mulvaney comic for Pride Month. Ugh.
You ever seen silverfish? Like little ears.
That's what I said. I thought you meant
silver.
silverfish.
That's what I thought you said.
You
I
said
thought silver.
swordfish.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah. Okay.
I think
I'm
he
not
said
crazy.
swordfish. I was saying silverfish. Ugh.
No, you said swordfish once.
You did say
Back in-
swordfish.
Well, I was too
Play
busy
the
focusing
tape.
on. I was too busy focusing on this thing because it was
Play
like
the replay.
crawling up my wall there, and like I was like, those things are just nasty.
Silverfish are, yeah. I remember
Still,
seeing places that would sell them for fish bait.
You ever see how fast they run?
Creepy fast. Pretty creepy fast.
So when you see my Minecraft, I was like, oh crap. Yes.
Oh man, it's
Uh,
Golden State's up 11. It's not looking good for lighting the beam.
all that's telling me right now is I gotta go put the poison around my house. You guys do it at your house? You guys put either you spray or do you put granule poison around your house?
My landlord, he sprays. He told me he'll do
Yeah.
spray around the house. He'll do it like once or twice a year. There's not really a huge pest problem where I'm at.
Well, yeah, it's all swamp.
Yeah, where bugs thrive. It's dirty water. It's like it's bug paradise out here.
All you got there is giant mosquitoes.
Dragonflies, butterflies, silverfish, ants.
Why do you throw butterflies in there? Oh my god, butterflies!
I'm just throwing bugs out there that I saw just today. I just like all kinds of bugs out there,
That's so
man.
freaking gross. Ugh. Gross. Yeah, silverfish are just freaking nasty. We got them 1 year, and I couldn't because we helped my great aunt. Basically, she was but wheelchair bound and she had to go nursing home. So we had we're going through her stuff. She had like her basement was flooded, and so she had all the like in the it's a condo, so she had mold in there and all stuff.
Mhm.
Tons of silverfish. We thought it came from her, but then I never thought about it because I have exhaust. Most people on their homes they have an exhaust fan for the heat when they plug it in.
Yeah.
Basically, get a headache. And we had a bird nest in there once, and because birds like to freaking feed their insects to their babies,
Mhm.
we had an infestation, and we were killing all. And this is the first one I've seen all years. So I was really happy. I was like, oh my god! I'm like breeding with mice with silverfish. It's like I'm fine, and then I see when it's like, okay,
Yeah, I'm like that with spiders or cockroaches, especially. I have a thing with cockroaches. I do
I've
not
never
like
seen
them.
one in my house. I've never seen one.
Dude, if you see one, there's 100 of them close by
If
somewhere.
I see one, I'm just burning everything and leaving. I am not gonna take around. Hey, I wonder what it is, and you just not you. Oh my, because usually when you disturb a pile, they just scurry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so back in
Centipedes.
time about centipede. I don't have centipedes down here actually. That's one bug we don't have. Yeah, so about 20 years ago, teenage Zach used to have a treehouse that I shared with my brother, and we went up there one day after probably a week or two of being away, and inside the house, just like threw a stick at the wall, just because we're kids and we threw things. Throw a stick at the wall, and like a dozen cockroaches just like fell from the roof. Man, I almost jumped out of that treehouse, and I was like 12 feet off the ground. I said, "Nope, burn it down." I do not like cockroaches.
Oh my gosh! And here it is. IDW and Dark Horse Comics are announced a new Stranger Things and Teenage Mutant Turtles crossover event this summer.
That's a
Why?
weird. That's a weird. I mean, they're both. I mean, Stranger Things takes place in the 80s. Ninja Turtles are.
You know
very
why? Because
80s.
she's Portal Girl. She opens up portals, different worlds.
No, not how I remember it. There's the Upside Down, but not like Turtle World. That's weird though. That's a weird crossover.
It shows in the Upside Down world. underneath.
Usagi Yojimbo, I get because it's an animal. It's a samurai. Okay.
That
Power
she-
Rangers, I get. Batman, I even get. But Stranger Things just seems off.
So basically, in this Stranger Things, on the cover, they're standing there, and then the Upside Down underneath them is the turtles.
No, it was not, Rhaegar. Don't be saying things like that.
Why did you?
He says
is
the
it-
treehouse was in the shape of a cross, so he's insinuating that we had a burning cross in our yard. So.
Well, kids, I think I'm gonna go make dinner. All this talk of cockroaches made me hungry.
Okay,
Yeah,
hey,
I'm getting ready for the World Economic Forum of 2030. Remember, let them eat bugs.
let them eat bugs. Oh yeah. Hey, remember when you go? Remember Tales of the Teen Titans. That's your angry point. There you go. Just set off.
And
Go to the races.
also, we're getting another Venom 3.
The movie?
Yeah, we're getting Venom 3.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I knew we
Juno
were getting
Temple
that.
from Ted Lasso is going to be in there.
Nice. Ted Lasso is a good show. Everybody should watch
Juno
Ted Lasso.
Temple is oddly hot.
A little bit, right? It's
Yeah.
a little weird. I don't normally go for blondes a whole lot.
Are
but-
they recasting the other girl?
With the other girl?
Heath.
His ex fiance or his
Heath
ex wife?
Heath Ledger's ex fiance or
I don't know if it went woke or actually I haven't seen season 3. Seasons 1 and 2 were not very woke, I thought.
Yeah, my brother, who I've completely shown a light on how bad everything's gotten, didn't have any complaints about season 3.
Yeah. Okay.
But they
I
did.
need
The
to
cast
see
did
it.
go to the White House, so that.
Oh, did they?
The actors are, but
Well, I don't. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, from what I saw of the show, it was just a positive, feel good show.
Yeah.
Like Jason Sudeikis is one of my favorite actors in Hollywood. He does funny, he does heart. So yeah,
and just for the Jonathan Majors update, original accuser
yikes.
worked on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
actually, I heard that several other victims alleged. Let me make sure I throw the alleged in there because nothing's been proven yet. Several other alleged victims have come forward and are speaking out against him now.
well, here's what I would say. I don't know how serious they are, and if it turns out to be serious, then the hell with this dude.
Right.
But there's a guy quarterbacking the Cleveland Browns making $230 million guaranteed that was accused by 29 women.
Oh yeah. Well, I
So-
mean, Brett Kavanaugh had 3, 4, 5 alleged victims.
Well, it's just for everybody that's screaming that it's because Jonathan Major's black.
Mm-hmm.
So's Deshaun Watson. So it's unfair, to lump him in with other
Yeah.
actors. I mean, my thing is, that just means that the other actors are getting away with something. But
Yeah.
who knows? Like I said, it's
Like like everybody said, it's like it's just weird how Marvel and DC or Disney and Warner Brothers see things. Warner Brothers, oh, it's fine. Ezra Miller, who's actually been, actual proof of him doing all this stuff.
Okay, there's Jonathan Major's biggest problem is he only has one protection, one form of protection, and gay trumps the shit out of black.
I know.
Just ask the dude from Grey's Anatomy.
In some absent world, yes. Yeah.
I said the only thing that trumps gay is trans.
That's
So
true.
black man has fallen pretty far down the.
It used to be the top of it was the top of the peak in 2020.
Wait,
That's some real quick turnaround.
Hell, you go back 10, 12 years.
I just got an update. Jonathan Majors comes out as gay.
Isaiah Washington, I think his name was an actor on Grey's Anatomy, and he got into an argument with one of the gay cast members.
Oh, I heard about this guy. Yeah,
They kicked the black dude off the show.
He's a Christian guy, I think, and he got kicked off the show.
Well, oh God, that being Christian, that I don't care if you're gay, black, and trans. If you're Christian, on top of that wipes out the other three.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls, if you like this kind of topics about talking about Ezra Miller and Jonathan Majors
We know that's what you come here for.
and Dylan and Bud Light, we got your one-stop shop right here. Just click like, hit subscribe if you've already done so, and please check out the Ko-Fi Ben. If you want to drop $1, help out Puppetine. He is in debt right now. He's going to the Philippines to work off his debt.
He's branching out to different bridges.
A bridge too far.
A bridge. A bridge over the River Kwai.
Yeah.
Or River Kwan, whatever the movie is.
Rathaquan. No. So yeah. Keep Puppetine pays for the StreamYard, pays for the Marvel, the DC grading apps.
Mm-hmm.
If you can help him out, maybe give him some extra money so he can buy some rice while he's over there, so he has some food. He's gonna need some money for a calling card when he needs the U.S. Embassy to pick him up so he can go home. All right, guys. Thanks for showing up, Rhaegar. It's great to see you. Hope you're enjoying your new owner, Zach. Hope he treats you black. Hope he treats you better than building back Biden. Wow, that was a bad joke. That was a Zach.
That was why you. I don't even trip over my words that much. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's true. I gotta be like you and have less words.
I don't have less words. I just don't trip over them as much.
You know what?
Weird, because I have 2 left feet.
I feel I'm depriving you of being quiet, so I'm going to let you be quiet for the rest of this stream.
Okay,
Good night, guys.
thank you.
Literally should not be televised.